Hello everyone, it's Gladius. So there's a neck out there that everyone needs to take a look at. It's really important, it has a great upgrade path that gets you all the way possibly to a 418 item level neck.
Our world needs us, champion.
Not that one. I'm talking about this one here, the Elemental Lariat. This is something that's able to be crafted by Jewlcrafters. Jewlcrafters, if you're interested in getting this, I have a guide coming out soon on exactly how to get your hands on this one. Now, as for everyone else, we may not be able to make one of these, but we want one of these. So we need to get in touch with someone who can make one of these. So the way we can do that is using the crafting order system. This guide's going to go over exactly how you can put in that order, be able to make sure you have the best possible results coming back to you, and then also some considerations along the way. Before we get into that, everyone, if you decide at the end of this video that it was helpful to you, please heroic strike that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with more WoW content and MMO content in general, please slam the subscribe. All right, let's get into it. All right, in our quest for an elemental lariat, the first thing we want to do is we want to head on over to the crafting order station. Crafting order station is just over here to the left of the seat of the aspects of the artisan's market. Head on over there, and then you're going to talk to one of the crafting order agents, I guess, that are standing on the pedestals. Just go ahead and click there, and you're going to open up your crafting order window. It may look pretty similar to the auction house, and you can kind of think about it like that as you're going through. Basically, this is going to submit a request for someone to make this for you. When it's crafted, it's actually bind on pickup, so we have to use the crafting order station to be able to get around that. So here, we're going to go on over to... So we're going to go on over to first armor, and then take a look for miscellaneous. The first one in miscellaneous is neck. We're going to click on neck, and then we're going to go ahead and search. See, we have a few we have a few options on here. We have the torque of pastime, and then also the elemental lariat. Now let's take a look at this really quick. So it's going to have a prismatic socket on it. You can actually put more sockets on this as well. And the equip effect is your spells and abilities have a chance to empower one of your socketed elemental gems, granting 407 of their associated stat for 12 seconds. So basically making your gem even more powerful, granting you more of that stat. That adds kind of a deterministic way of determining which skill or which stat is going to be empowered. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on Elemental Lariat. And now we get to see the recipe cost. So it's going to take a spark of ingenuity. I have a guide on this if you don't know how to get these. Take a look in the description below. It's basically a weekly reset item. You have to do a quest each couple of weeks to be able to get one of these. Again, the link is in the description. Down here, Primal Chaos. If you're not familiar with this item, I also go over this in the optional reagents guide. I'll put that in the description below. You can get this multiple ways, but you mainly get it from Mythic Plus dungeons and heroic dungeons, as well as raids. But you can also get it from some world quests as well. Now, we can take a look here. We have to get two shimmering clasps, one illuminated diamond, and then an elemental harmony. Okay, so all three of these things, we either can collect them, or we can go on over to the auction house and be able to buy them. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on track recipe. While we're still on this, though, let's go ahead and take a look at these other two secondary options. If we take a look here, we can determine exactly which stat we're going to get on our elemental lariat by providing a missive. Missives are very important when you're working with an item that's, well, got combat stats on it, but also one that has pretty expensive reagents. And you can see over here, because we're working with Primal Chaos, which is slow to grind out, and also Sparks of Ingenuity, which are a time-gated item, we want to take the time to really craft the item that's going to be most beneficial to our character. These things down here are going to be expensive, but more so, you want to be cautious with how you use time-gated items. Now, this isn't the end of the world if you can't afford the missive right now, because you can always do a recraft later and then provide a missive at that point, and you can determine the stats that are going to come on it. But if we can just go ahead and skip a step, why would we not? Let's go ahead and provide a missive. So I'm going to take a look and see which one I'm going to want. And if you don't know which stats your character would benefit most from, you can head on over to, I suggest, Icy Veins, Wowhead. These kind of locations are great for finding, or you can find a WoW guide on YouTube as well. But these are great resources to figuring out which secondary stats most benefit your character. And then at that point, take a look through each of the missives and find the stat pair that works for you. Next, we're going to look at Infused with Power. So if we go down here, we can see that there's two options, Primal Infusion and Concentrated Primal Infusion. I go over these in detail in a guide I'll link in the description, but just at a basic level, just know that you can get these through raiding content and Mythic Plus content. No worries though, you don't need one of these to be able to craft your first one. But this is how you're going to be able to pump the item level on recrafts later down the road. When we come back, we'll go more into the public versus personal order later. Let's head on over to the auction house and get these items. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you can go ahead and click the track recipe checkbox just under the item. And then notice it's going to appear over on your right-hand side under the profession tab. This is great for later. It kind of gives you a shopping list when you head on over to the auction house, which, speaking of which, off to the auction house to go ahead and buy the items we need. All right, jumping into the auction house here. We're going to take a look. Close my bags here so we can actually see. We need 2 shimmering clasps, illuminated diamond, and elemental harmony. So let's start with the first one. It's important to think about how the quality of ingredients you provide is going to determine the quality of craft you get out. The higher quality is always better, but you have to determine if it's worth the money. In this case, take a look here. The bronze level, the lowest level quality, is actually the most expensive. So at that point, I have to look at either silver and gold, and it's only 2 gold more per the higher quality, the highest quality. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab that. I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 of those. And then what's next on our list? Illuminated diamond. Okay, so we can see here there's a huge jump in price between the silver quality and the gold quality. This is where you have to make your personal choice on if it's worth the extra money for you. I'm going to go ahead and just buy the silver quality and save some money. I recently just spent a lot on profession-related stuff, so as you can see, I have 18,000. I'm cool with just taking the cheaper one for now. Remember, you can always recraft later. Okay, and finally we want a elemental harmony. Okay, and then elemental harmony, again, we're in a situation where the silver and gold levels are not that much more expensive from each other, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these. I'm going to grab the gold version. All right, and now I'm going to look at my missive. The main difference between these is that it's going to add less recipe difficulty with the higher quality missive you give it. Again, when it's that cheap, I'm fine with spending 250 gold just to go ahead and get the highest quality, just for the chance it's going to give you an even better item. Grab that stuff out of the mailbox. Looks like everything is good to go, so we're ready to roll. Let's head on back over to the crafting order station, and here we are. We're back on the page. So let's take a look. I do want to go ahead and provide that missive of Fever Flare. I don't have these. I think a lot of us are not going to have these for a while. If you do, this is a good item to go ahead and force an upgrade. So I highly recommend using these for your neck item because I think this is going to be the best neck item we get for a while. So personal order, you get to determine who you send it to and also a minimum quality that you'll accept from the person you send it to. Notice when you change that to a public order, you don't get that option. So you just kind of get whatever you get. For the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it's like when you just go ahead and provide it as a public order and see what you can expect to get back. If you're going for highest bang for your buck and try to get the highest level of item you can, sending it to someone directly is the better option because you're going to be able to define exactly what level you're expecting to get back. So your higher level Jewlcrafters are going to be able to give you these higher level qualities. So here, let's just take a look. I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to help out a crafter that's leveling up their profession. And I'm just going to say, anyone can go ahead and make this for me. And I'm going to give them a commission of 150 gold. I think that's a fair commission to pay for clicking a button. Now, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and just say something in trade chat to let them know that it's on there. Well, change of plans. I just got a whisper from Penguin Drum offering to guarantee a quality level 5 and asking for a 10k tip. I'm going to see if I can plead with them to maybe get a lower commission. Offering about 4k, because once again, I only have about 14k in my pocket right now. Let's see if I can save a little bit of that. But that's a kind offer from Penguin. Shout out there. Penguin Drum, thank you very much for that. So this is how you send a crafting order directly to someone. And then also you can make sure to tag the minimum item level. In this case, he said he can make a tier 5 guaranteed. So I'm going to go ahead and set the minimum accepted level as tier 5. So then, as easy as that, on the other end, in this case, Penguin completed it on the other side, and then it comes back through the mail right back to you. Simple as that, easy and done. So the one I have now is a 392. I'm going to be able to recraft for higher levels once I get Primal Infused Chaos and just more Primal Chaos in general. If this was helpful to you in some way, please heroic strike that like button and slam the subscribe if you want to stay up to date with WoW content, gaming content, and MMO content in general. I appreciate your time today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.